Alright, welcome back everybody. Let's take a look at a new type of golem. Now, of course, if you look in the monster manual, there are several covered, and some of those have been around since first edition. But if you think about what golems are made out of, usually common materials. If you think about copper, of the valuable coins and such that people trade, copper is, of course, the most abundant of them all. So it seems sense that sooner or later someone would make a golem out of copper because of its reasonably inexpensive price. You know, compare it to something like gold, of course, whatever, it'd be outrageously expensive. So looking at the copper golem right here, it's going to be a large construct and, of course, unlined. Armor class of 15, not as high as some of the others because, again, copper's a little bit softer than what some of those others are. Hit points pretty high. It's a 16 D10 plus 80 monster, so 168 hit points for it. Speed of 30. So if you look at the stats right here, strength and con, of course, are the two big ones, just as you would expect, like you see with golems. Look at damage immunities. Poison and psychic are not going to affect a golem. Bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks that aren't adamantine. So, of course, you're going to have just the right weapon. You want to attack one of these golems. That's seen with all the others, too. Condition immunities, charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, poison. So, of course, there's a big list of immunities when it comes to these creatures here. Dark vision out to 60 feet with a passive perception of 10. Languages, it'll understand the languages of its creator, but it can't speak. Going to be a CR12 monster, pretty tough. So what else we see with this one right here? One thing is lightning absorption. Whenever the golem is subjected to lightning damage, it takes no damage and instead can redirect that damage back at the caster or anyone else if needed. So as everybody knows, copper is a very good conductor of electricity, so it could just absorb and then redirect this as needed. Immutable form, like you see with other golems. The golem is immune to any spell or effect that would alter its form. Magic resistance, going to have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Having advantage against spells is always huge. Magic weapons, the golem's weapon attacks are considered magical. So look at the actions up here. It will have a multi-attack. The golem makes 2 melee attacks. Most often, 2 large swords or axes are used. Of course, that could be anything. These are just 2 of the common ones. The fist of the golem can be used to make a slam attack if needed. So looking at the slam attack, that's going to be plus 11 to hit, reach of 5 feet. Going to do on average about 22 points of bludgeoning damage. Looking at a sword or axe, if it's used, plus 11 to hit, reach of 10 feet, because these are considered very large, oversized weapons. So there you see the slashing damage associated with those. And look at its lightning weapon that it possesses also. The copper golem is a great conductor of electricity. This property and the addition of magic allows it to direct a bolt of lightning at one opponent. The opponent must make a DC 16 dexterity saving throw, taking 36 points of lightning damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one. So pretty good little lightning weapon built in. It's going to recharge on the roll of a 6. History. With copper being one of the most abundant and cheapest of the metals, it was only a matter of time before the excess was made into a golem. These powerful constructs are sometimes used as guardians of treasure hoards and sometimes used as security in large banks. In large cities, copper can be found in large quantities at a bank, so the excess will sometimes be used for golem construction. The golems make for a great guard since they never sleep and they're very tough. They may also be used for moving heavy loads of precious metals in the bank, and the copper isn't lost making the construct. The golem could always be melted down again if needed. Appearance. The copper golem has a smooth surface, and the copper may be shiny, just like a new coin, and new, or it may have the green color of patina on an older, unpolished individual. Since copper is a relatively soft metal, the golem may have dents anywhere on its surface. These may be old battle scars from opponents of the past. The golem looks like a treasure hoard all to itself. So use. These golems may be used as guards, often of treasure, or they make a prized possession used to demonstrate someone's wealth. Looking at attacks, the 2 attacks of the golem are made with large weapons, specially made for this type of construct. These weapons would be of giant size. Each one is massive and makes for a heavy hit. Construction of this golem here is discussed just like they do with many of the others. This construct is generally 10 to 12 feet tall. It would take around 500 to 600,000 copper coins to give the material needed for the body of the construct. Another 75,000 pieces of gold would be needed for construction cost. 100 days would be needed for the time of construction. The golem will weigh between 24 and 29,000 pounds. So again, compare this to some of the other golems you see in the monster manual. See, it's sort of in between some of the others. Definitely not the strongest, but also not the weakest. So there's a new type of golem which can be used, especially along with huge treasure hoards, where a huge amount of this material would be available for the construction. And of course, somebody'd have to be wealthy all at the same time. So I hope you enjoyed this new golem right here. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.